It should have been alligator Thor and then Krogi. Like if they were just in a universe where everyone's an alligator. But
Alligator.
whatever.
You really put your heart in that one. I appreciate that.
Alligator Thor, yeah, he thinks about this stuff at night. He stays up till like 4 a.m. thinking about
Like
this.
You're listening to a Valiant Star podcast. Enjoy.
What's good, beautiful nerds and nerdettes, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerds Be Like podcast, episode 102. And as always, it's me, Patty, Dan, and Eric, and our two special guests, Justin and Tyrell. Play the clap track.
I'll clap. No, I'll do it in post.
I'm doing that too.
Yeah, I know, but you can't really hear it on my end. You'll hear it on my OBS, but not on this.
You'll hear it on mine too.
So how you guys doing?
Pretty good, honestly.
Definitely for a Monday, for an uneventful Monday, feeling pretty good about life right now.
For real. I didn't have anything to do today neither. I didn't have no work. I'm excited.
All right, so Patty, what are we doing today?
Well, this week we will be looking at the latest Marvel show, Loki. But before we get into that, all right, clearly there's one thing everyone at home needs to do. If you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe, and just fucking beat the shit out of the bell.
Beat it up.
Beat it up. Just obliterate that bell.
Just like Mike Tyson versus
Smash.
Anybody. Just beat that shit down.
Just keep going in. And then when you're done with that,
is the answer.
Come to the Discord and join that. And then you're all set.
Link
Yeah, come talk to Patty. He needs
do all
friends.
take all those steps. All right,
for
now
the 1-2 punch.
now that you've gotten that out of the way, now we can get into the news.
All right, Eric.
Yes, I am here, and I was about to sip some water, but I'm not going to do it now.
Yeah, not anymore.
Go ahead.
Nah,
No,
you're
go
good.
ahead.
So let's get this
Pause.
started. We're going to start this off with lightning, and we're going to start off with Dune. I don't know. Have we talked about it a lot? Maybe like once or twice?
We mention
we
it when
talked-
stuff comes out.
Yeah, and that episode you were
My
here
first
for,
episode.
the first episode.
Yeah.
Memories.
Dune is weird, man. Like Dune is supposed to be like, what I'm saying, like the tertiary science fiction franchise in the universe behind Star Trek and Star Wars. And to be honest, bro, like I haven't even read the books. So I'm kind of excited because the cast looks dope. And I know the general story, but there's like 700 books, and like 14,000 movies and sci-fi miniseries. So I'm pretty excited for the film, but I don't know how you guys feel about Dune in general. Like, would you even care about Dune? Do you guys care about Dune outside of this upcoming movie?
We have not seen it, and we have not seen the older one. We haven't read anything.
Yeah.
Either.
When I read about it, it was described as Star Wars, but they don't care about your feelings. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I like that.
That sounds good.
And then Patty's all about
Yeah,
that.
Patty
Yeah,
don't care
about
about
that.
nobody's feelings.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
cares?
You combine two things.
But does Star Wars really care about our feelings?
No, they
Yes.
didn't. I think we had this conversation. They didn't care about
Well-
feelings neither.
Now they don't care about feelings.
But it has come out that it's rated PG-13 for sequences of strong violence, disturbing images, and suggestive materials, and has a runtime of 2 hours and 35 minutes, which is realistically what, like 225 credits?
Probably. I wish it would be R, not PG-13.
Yeah. I mean,
This fits a more R, I think, slate. rather than anything
Yeah.
else.
well, they can get away
I mean,
with
there's like
two
giant.
F-words.
There's giant death worms. How are giant death worms rated PG-13? That's just depressing. Honestly, I think every movie should be rated R at this point. Just like let everyone watch them. Who gives a shit?
Boss Baby, rated.
That's what I'm
Oh my
saying.
God.
Oh no.
My son watches that. Can we not?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, yay or nay
Oh yeah.
for
yeah.
this?
I'll give it a yay and a half. Because I wish it was R.
A yay and a half.
Yeah, like
Wow, I like
That works.
No, I like that. Yay and a half.
This one, next one.
This next
Go
one's like
ahead.
all about me because I'm into this. So Wu-Tang, an American Saga, is season 2 is set to premiere on Hulu September 8th, 2021. I love this show. Season 1 was amazing. Wu-Tang Clan, if you don't know who they are, I can't help you. I just can't help you at that point.
Yeah, that's problematic.
But the reason why it took so long is because I think season 1
I was
came
gonna
out.
say.
It's when COVID hit, and they were gonna do
right.
season 2, but it got pushed
Didn't do
back to
that.
like this year. So it's
Yeah.
a long wait. New characters, a bunch of new stuff,
Yeah.
continuations. I love it. I'm excited.
I think the only downside is it's only on Hulu.
Well, Hulu's not bad though with their exclusives. Like it's not
Hulu?
FX
Yeah.
Hulu.
Yeah,
it's
but like
Hulu.
Hulu's kind of like cringe with a lot of their
Oh
stuff.
my god.
Their premium subscriptions.
Well, yeah, Patty.
Hate those. Hate that. I get baited all the time.
Patty's very upset.
I'm like, hey, someone's on Hulu, great, and it's just premium subscription, and I'm like, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something. to
Hulu
Hulu.
headquarters on fire.
I think this is a good thing. I mean, it's been like you said, it's been a while since the first season, but good to hear that it's
Yeah,
coming in real
it
soon.
has your favorite Miles Morales actor in it.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say his name, but I thought you were gonna say
What's
the
his-
cast
what's
or
his
something.
name?
Shamik Moore.
I love Shamik Moore.
Mm, definitely.
He's in the Get Down as well. I like that.
Then they canceled that, right?
They canceled
Yeah,
that
unfortunately.
quick, yo.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's because it was like expensive,
Mhm.
and they were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do this anymore."
So was Yahya Abdul Mateen II was in there too, right?
yeah, so he was.
Yeah. See, I didn't even watch it, and I know.
Mm.
Every time we talk about him, I always bring that up with Brandon in here.
You know that's my favorite man's.
Wasn't that Black Manta?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Candyman.
we talked about him
There you
last
go,
week as well.
Patty. And Candyman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
that's the homie. You know what they need to do? They need to put him in Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
We
just-
talked about
yo,
this so many
Yo,
times.
no, we
that's
talked about this
yeah.
literally last week.
No, this was like 2 days ago.
Yeah. I
Was it?
casted. No, I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah, no, it's for last week's recording.
Oh.
What is it?
We
Hour.
talked because you said something about the update on Black Panther 2.
All right. Speaking of Netflix, Netflix is set to add gaming to their growing conglomerate. You're welcome.
I hate you.
For no extra charge.
I have no idea what this
I-
is going to mean. Are we gonna get like Netflix exclusive games?
Yes.
It's like the
Knowing Netflix?
choose your adventure
Yes.
thing.
I don't know how I feel about that.
The new Witcher game is gonna be a Netflix exclusive.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Yo.
Next
my-
Witcher game. That'd
Imagine.
be so tragic.
Yeah, I can't wait to deliberately avoid this. It's it's such a bad idea. In my opinion, I think it's
It
a
is.
terrible idea.
No, you're not wrong.
I don't know.
I mean,
I mean,
it's weird that it's like no
for-
extra charge, but they have just
for
been bumping up the stuff.
Netflix, it's a good idea because they can just start buying up developers because they have infinite money,
They already are.
and it's just like it's free real estate.
Mm.
Well,
But
Amazon
for
is actually
consumers, it's kind of annoying.
for
'cause it's
for
just
us,
another
it definitely is
subscription.
annoying. But for like Amazon
Yeah.
Prime viewers who are already using Prime Video, like there's already like Amazon Luna, which is kind of the same idea, just like streaming video games and stuff. So I think Netflix is just trying to play catch up because, you know, the streaming wars are still ongoing. I still don't think it's a good idea, bro. Like,
No.
just stick with movies, bro. I'm good with my PlayStation. You know what I'm saying?
Are they gonna adapt some of their originals as video games?
Probably. Imagine.
I mean, they could.
Yeah.
They could do anything.
I mean, like, yeah, I would be down.
They're gonna
It'd
start
be
small.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Next up.
Again at
Unfortunate.
Netflix.
This is even worse.
A live action Pokemon series
Oh,
is
no.
in the works.
I don't even.
So,
I don't even want to talk about this. I
like-
don't even want to talk about this.
Everybody's
Next.
upset.
I'm
That's
gonna
it.
speak for Tones here, and I just say we just say we're disappointed and we move on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a disgrace.
What did you guys think of Detective Pikachu?
Wasn't
I don't know
bad.
how I feel about that movie.
I mean, I think that one was fine. I think the
Yeah.
problem with this one is that it's like they're taking the original Pokemon series, adding nothing to it, but making it live action.
Oh,
Think about like the Cowboy Bebop live action stuff on Netflix as well. The same thing.
Yeah.
dang good.
So that one could be a little bit more socially acceptable because it looks like they're actually trying to do a good job.
Yeah, that is true. That's
I
true.
Because the
guess.
casting looks good and they have the original composer.
Well, you're right. At least they didn't
So,
whitewash that either.
They're like they're trying with that one, but this one it just feels even weirder because like I don't. It's just why.
There's some things you
Yeah.
don't put in a lot of action,
That-
like
Money.
That's the thing.
Literally, no one involved here needs money. Pokemon doesn't need money, and Netflix doesn't need money. Neither of them need money.
I mean, they're trying to grow their gaming thing. Maybe they can get a game off of
Oh
this.
my God.
You're welcome.
That's probably what it is. Now that I think
Look at
about it.
Pokemon PC ports on Netflix only.
Oh God! All right, that's it. Next, all right.
come on.
Next, we're gonna be heading into our only anime
One and
stuff. I
only.
wouldn't count Pokemon as that, but Dragon Ball Super is getting another film to get released in 2022, and it will be called Dragon Ball Super Superhero.
Superhero, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, original
We don't-
original series or original. I don't think it's based on any of the manga.
Mm.
I think it's like an
I wouldn't
original
know.
story. He said.
a resident like Dragon Ball Super
Well, I'm telling you.
connoisseur is not.
Our-
No, I was gonna say he's not here, but I was gonna ask our guests like what they think of it.
The anime people are.
If they seen if they seen the previous Super movie,
Oh, I seen Broly. All right.
right?
I loved it. Like
That is-
really, like I was when they first said that they were making a Broly movie. Like I was so happy. Like finally that Broly was canon. But now, I always wondered and pictured as a child, like what would it be like Goku mixed with superheroes? So
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Super. The Broly movie was really good. First of all, it kind of took me back to kind of the golden era, the Toonami era of Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. Because I wasn't feeling Super a whole lot. I thought the animation was trash. Made me want to just jump off a bridge. I thought it was terrible. But Brawly was dope. The last story arc was pretty good with the Ultra Instinct stuff. And, I could probably get down with another movie. Like whatever they lack in the TV show Super, they seem to make up for in the films. So,
Interesting.
we'll see what Superhero has to offer. I'm curious to see what that title actually alludes to.
Looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
All right. Next, we're gonna go into video game news. The only video game news we have because there wasn't anything going on besides Netflix is going into gaming. There will be a Dead Space remake. Don't know when, but it's coming.
Mhm.
That's all they said.
We have it in our heads.
It's there. We're writing it. I promise.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I never played Dead Space, so like I don't.
Me neither.
My brother has, and that cover art always freaked me out as a kid.
You get freaked out by a lot, man.
I do.
I'm not even gonna lie. So that's not saying a lot. Let me see. See what it looks
It
like.
was just like I think Dead Space 2 had. Is it the one with like the missing finger?
I don't remember. I just know about Dead Space is that I forget if it's the third or the fourth
Oh, no, it's
one,
one.
where it just the series just like dropped off a cliff. But I just know that happened where like the Dead Space games were just really good and then they were just absolutely terrible.
Mhm.
And that's all I know about Dead Space. I'm pretty sure this is a remake of the first one.
The first
The
one?
very
Yeah.
first one.
Honestly,
So
they
it looks
should have
like-
remade like the last few so that way they could actually make good games.
Jeez.
That would have helped.
How many are there?
You said 4?
I think
Four,
four.
I think.
There's 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, and then I think it's Andromeda.
And then
Is
there's an
the-
anime somewhere in between there that's on Netflix too.
Oh God.
Yeah.
good.
Nope, I can't spell Andromeda. I'm just gonna have to live with it. All right. I thought about it. I looked. I said nope. All right. So I guess we're excited for that. I mean, the original was good.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, Patty. All right.
I'll think. Yeah.
I mean, I'll keep an eye out for it. You know me. All right. Next, we're gonna head into a little bit of Marvel news. Yay!
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So Marvel Studios has announced that they're creating a smaller, connected, separate studio strictly for their animated projects, which I'm assuming is like MCU connected. But just
I was gonna ask, but I don't know.
it's
Like-
weird the way they worded it, like
Mhm.
the way they put it out. But they said that I guess they don't want Marvel Studios to just be under pressure all the time for this. So if they
Yeah.
had like a little space for whatever, but Kevin Feige's probably still
What if
running
next
over there.
to-
Yeah, they'll probably move that banner over there.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it was one of your episodes. You guys, Justin was talking about how Marvel is pretty bad at like their animation. DC like beats them
Mhm.
all. You think this will
Yeah, I
like
remember
compete
that.
with that?
I love DC
Yeah.
DC, they
animation.
don't make the best live action movies, but they make the best animated movies. Well, they make decent animated movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, and all the movies
Yeah.
on HBO Max too. So it's like you can like go back, have a marathon, and like attest to that. Like, oh, now these movies like slap, dude. Like, even if they weren't like a connected universe on their own, they'd still be
they're
dope.
they're really good over there. Especially with voice actors, they cast like the right amount of like emotion towards a thing. Which the Marvel ones, I can only name like two that were good, and it was like the next Avengers when it was their kids.
Yeah, I don't like that one
That
really.
junk was so corny, bro. Oh my
I
god.
like.
They were all
I like
right.
I like the.
Put Ultron in it. That's about it for me. Like that's my favorite villain. But
Yeah.
I like Stark from Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's the only like version.
True, the shows aren't bad neither. Like I like that
Mm.
one too. Earth's
Of,
Mightiest
yeah,
Heroes.
not that one, but like the more recent ones are kind of strange.
The-
Well, yeah,
recent
because
ones.
that's MCU stuff.
fucking A Smash
Like
always got
Ultimate
Agents of
Spider-Man.
Smash.
Ultimate Spider-Man was one of my favorite ones with someone starring that we can't name because stuff
Oh
happened.
my god.
Happened. My god.
But yeah, that one was good too.
Very
So I
good.
think this I'm not gonna say this will rival to it, but like to the DC animated stuff. But it's interesting that they're going a different route now.
At this time, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's what 11 years later, and you're just now, or no, not even longer than that, 12 almost.
It's kind of
And who knows when that will start?
Oh, we don't know when it's gonna start.
No, it just says that they're gonna create a studio. I assume it's gonna be like next couple years.
Yeah, probably like 2023 they'll have something.
Yeah, I was gonna say at the earliest, maybe late next year.
Well, it depends if they are moving that What If over there, because
Yeah.
they have season 1 and 2 broken up.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to What If.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exciting. What next month?
Can't wait to see that. Yeah, next month. Is it
middle
September?
of next month? No,
It's October.
August 11th.
No,
August
it's
12th.
August.
Yeah, it's soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Josh Segura, he's Spanish,
Oh,
so it has to be like
Segura.
Segura or something like that.
Segura?
He was in
Segura?
Arrow.
Double
Yeah,
R?
see, he was in
Double R.
Arrow as Prometheus in season 5, and then after
Oh, he's
that,
Spanish?
yeah, he's Spanish,
Oh shit.
and he has been cast in Marvel's She-Hulk, and his role is unknown. But yes, he was my favorite Arrow villain.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Prometheus is like up there for me.
Mhm.
Same.
I'm excited.
It's Puerto Rican. Oh, okay.
Told you he was Spanish.
Yeah, I just want to.
We're in the Spanish section of Lightning Round.
Oh, you're right.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see who's gonna play.
A lawyer
Like, is it gonna be
again.
No, it's gonna be like another like fighter. Is he gonna be a villain? Like, what is he? Is he
I
gonna
don't
be a-
know.
God,
Don't you remember that
dude.
show was supposed to be like 30-minute comedy?
Yeah, but oh, like what if he's just like one of the cases or something? I don't know.
Wait the potential.
Just hanging out.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I feel
I'm
like
here
that's
from
what
Arrow.
basically me too.
I'm here to
Basically what that
discuss my
show is.
contract.
I'm here to
That's
discuss
his
how they
court
screwed me.
case. Contract.
He was a lawyer in Arrow. He was the DA.
Yeah.
So it's
you're right.
weird that it's She-Hulk. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we're excited. I'm excited. I don't know about Dan. But
I'm excited. What do you mean?
I don't know, Dan.
Prometheus.
I don't know. You don't sound excited.
Okay.
I'm excited about She-Hulk.
Good. All right. Next, moving on to a little bit of DC news that we have that we've been getting nonstop for like a year, I feel, because I don't know what's going on over there. Anyway, Leslie Grace has been cast as Batgirl for the HBO Max exclusive film that they have over there. She was one of my top picks out of the four.
Yeah, that was amazing when you said
Oh.
It's amazing when you almost called that because you were like, it's down to these two, in my personal opinion, and you got it.
Yeah. I said I absolutely one of these, and it was like it was the one that I think I like the other one more. I'm not gonna lie.
Elizabeth Merced.
I believe so. Did
Isabella
I send it to you? Like
Yeah,
I sent
no,
it to
no,
you, or
yeah. You sent me the post, and then
Mhm.
no, but it's interesting casting. Like it's, but I also asked Eric like, where would this fit? Is this gonna be in some alternate universe? Is this like? And then we're not really sure. It's probably gonna be on its own again.
It's gonna be
Who
better than that
knows?
one, I guarantee it. It's gonna be better, I guarantee it.
I don't want to talk about Batwoman. I try to get into it, and every time it disappoints me. Oh,
I'm like Batgirl's been in the making for like the longest time. They've been really trying to get this
Yeah.
running.
They announced
So it's
that.
interesting now they have it. Yeah.
It's long overdue. They announced this mess. Oh, God, how many years ago? I mean, they announced a lot of weird
6?
stuff. DC was just like
Yeah.
freaking
no.
The Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, also something like that. I was
Yeah.
like, when are we gonna see that? I want to
I
see
heard they're
that.
gonna have a Static Shock movie. Like that's what I'm waiting for.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's is it a movie? I don't know if it was a movie.
I think it's gonna be an exclusive too.
Oh.
But
Alright.
I don't know what they're doing over there. Like they have no sense of like timeline. They don't know what
Not
goes
at all.
where. They're just
Not at
making
all.
stuff.
And that's kind of a good thing though, because like if Marvel tries to do that, they can't do that. Maybe they can now with the multiverse, but for 11 straight years, they had to have everything exactly lined up, in order, strategized. For the sake of continuity, where DC was just like, yeah, forget that. We can just do whatever we want. We can make and break the timeline, and have fun. And that's how you keep your characters immortal. Whereas in Marvel, it's like, oh, it's been 10 years. We have to
okay.
kill characters off. So DC actually had that. Like, I felt like that was a strong point for DC. I mean, it kind of screwed us over with, Batman versus Superman, which was just total dookie butter. But, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I always felt like that was kind of a cool thing that was to DC's advantage.
Did you guys hear about that little mess thing that happened with like the writer of Man of Steel, the notes Warner Brothers gave him?
David S. Goyer.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
So,
I didn't
like,
hear about this.
It was like
Yo.
one of the original
Where's
scripts.
Krypton?
It's like it was like, we're gonna destroy the Zod's ship with the ship that brought in Clark Kent or Kal-El, whatever. Right? They're gonna throw it and it's gonna explode. And by the end of it, they're like, so how is he gonna go back to his planet if it's his pod is destroyed? And it's like, we just told you that the planet exploded like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, like
And like they're just not like, either we're not paying attention or they just do. I don't know what was going on.
they didn't care.
They didn't
That
care.
too.
Like they don't. There's no one over there that has like. Jeff Johns when he was over there, but I don't know what happened with that.
I don't think he's doing that anymore.
He's not, because they didn't bought in like executives, like actual executives, which was so
From
weird.
TNT and then
Yeah, I think that's what happened actually.
Mhm.
They bought, but they had
Well-
some sort of where they were going with Snyderverse. Blew that up in their face.
If they did.
Yeah.
God, I don't want to get into it. This is making me sad again.
All right, well, let's
Alright.
finish up. Let's finish up.
Okay, good. All right, excited for Batgirl. That's it. Excited.
Word.
She's Spanish again. All right, next.
Latinos, man.
Yeah, we're getting them this coming.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, next. Michael
Beetle
B.
next.
Jordan, our favorite boxer slash anti-hero slash whatever he wants to be,
Mm-hmm.
is developing a Val Zod Superman series for HBO Max. This is not the J.J. Abrams one with the Black Clark Kent that everyone's talking about. It's a totally different one, and he's in talks to star too, apparently. But yeah, there's a lot going on over there.
Yeah.
Because that's 2 projects he's involved with, and that you know what I mean. Now that you see what I'm saying, they don't know what they're doing. It's hard.
There's a lot of Superman stuff in development over there. Like we recently heard, like maybe Man of Steel's happening to this other Superman,
Supergirl,
J.J. Abrams, exactly.
The show that they have with the dude from The Boys, the animated show. Crypto, the super dog.
Right.
That counts.
Lois.
Superman might be in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Superman and Lois. You are right. God.
Too much Superman.
A lot.
It's not even that. It's not consistent. You don't know where any of these things exist besides the animated stuff. They're just all different. They're saying it's the multiverse just so they don't have to like explain anything, which I get. Don't get me wrong.
Like, they have no idea what they're doing, so they're just like, fuck it, multiverse time.
Do what you want here. Have the rights. Have the rights. Have the rights. Like, damn.
Well, just say it's the multiverse and just do whatever you want. We don't care. It doesn't have to make sense.
Right.
And they're never going to actually use the multiverse by, like bringing people together. They're just going to keep it as the multiverse because they're just, they don't want to fucking make things consistency. Who cares about that?
Right. I feel like by the end of eventually.
By the end of it, we'll all forget anyway.
I was gonna say by the end of it, Clark Kent will return back to his home planet.
Oh
my gosh, kill me!
No, I hope that doesn't happen. Jeez.
I mean, I'm down for anything Michael B. Jordan does, though. This is like,
I'm excited about that part.
Superhero franchise he's been with.
So he's producing this and the Static Shock.
Yep.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, shit, dude.
Jesus Christ,
that's gonna be good.
I mean, it might fall through. You never know, because I haven't heard nothing from Static Shock in a while.
I think that wraps up Lightning Round, correct?
Oh, thank God. Yes.
All right, so we're going to be moving on to one piece of straight up news.
And it has to do with Superman.
Wow, who saw it coming?
No, I was going to say technically, like, it matches up to, like, we were talking about, like, the voice cast and everything. So we got the announcement of the Injustice animated movie and their voice actors and everybody that's going to be a part of it. So we're going to be getting Justin Hartley as Superman.
Yes.
Anson Mount as Batman. Laura Bailey as I don't know who that is either. Laura Bailey as Lois Lane. Janet Varney as Wonder Woman. Gillian Jacobs as Harley Quinn. And Kevin Pollak as Joker.
A lot more, but that was just the main stuff.
Sorry if I butchered anything. Is it the Superman guy, the guy who played Green Arrow?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Smallville. Yeah. Okay.
And that is the worst, most embarrassing iteration of Green Arrow of any of the. Do you remember what Cyborg looked like?
Oh no!
Yes, I do. He died.
Yeah,
don't disrespect him.
He didn't have the Cyborg head.
Good God.
They all had like hoodies.
Yeah, bro. They had
I remember.
Flash.
Oh my gosh.
I remember. Well, because they had no flights, no tights in that show. That was the rule. Yeah. They couldn't do anything.
Man.
And cool guys wear hoods. Apparently.
That was still rough. It was rough. I don't care.
Yeah. But this
guy looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
There was more that they announced. Like I think Kevin Pollak voiced more than just Joker, but this was just like the main, story wise people.
And it is interesting because none of the Injustice video game voice actors came back for this. It's a whole other thing.
Right, that's funky, yeah.
That's what's his name that have been voicing him for years, like Mark
Kevin
Hamill
Conroy.
and Kevin. Yeah, that's old school.
You think it's because of that? Because maybe they were trying to switch it up?
I don't think they're doing it no more, but I think they're trying to find new people to voice him. Because remember, they got this whole new franchise outside of, what was it, Rebirth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they're going with now? Something like that. I forget, or is it, that was New 52 that they just rebooted, right?
Yeah.
No, it's New
Yeah.
52.
Okay, they
then
got out of New
Rebirth.
52. Yeah, that's what they got
Yeah.
out of. So, I mean, I guess they're trying to find their own voicings for the next generation.
I like the Batman from New 52, the from the animated realm.
Mhm.
I forgot his name.
I know what you're talking about.
Jason something.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I nearly said Blood, but that's a
God.
whole other person. But that's the image that was released as well. The animation look not in moving. We haven't seen it, but like the quality looks pretty good.
Mm.
A bearded Superman as well.
It looks better than the one that's going on right now that looks like Archer. I don't like that. I don't at all. I look at it and I'm like, this is gross. Like, what is this?
Dang.
All right, so that literally, I love how the main straight up is a lot less longer than the lightning round. Well, that's fine. But Eric, you want to take it away for the topic?
Oh yeah. So, we're gonna be doing a low-key podcast review. That's it. That's
What
we're
did you
doing.
call it?
A low key, like it's LOWKEY
Oh my God.
podcast review. Yeah, I worked so hard on that. It took me 3 titles to get to that one, and I love it.
It took you 3 tries to get to that.
It took me 3 different titles. Like they were all different. They were all.
I like the second one,
weird.
and then
You-
you changed it to this. I was like,
What
what?
were they?
I didn't
What was
even.
the first
It was
one?
like Loki's. I don't know what the first one was. The second one was like Loki's Glorious Podcast.
Yeah.
That would have been
And
so
then
much
it was
better.
A low key podcast review. I liked them all. I was doing it. Damn it, I was picking.
Okay,
We'll
whatever.
put it. We'll throw it up on whenever we
Okay.
release it.
We can vote.
each-
How
Make
about
it, make
that?
it the YouTube title.
You want to vote? We can vote. All
Let's do
three.
it. Let's do it some other time.
After this.
Okay,
All right.
after recording.
So I'm going to give a quick synopsis of Loki. Everyone here knows what it's about. Everyone knew what we were going to before we watched it. But
Yes.
for the viewers, this is your first time. I'm doing a spoiler right now because why are you even here if you didn't watch it? Like, what is wrong with you?
Also,
What is wrong with you?
But like let's just all the episodes have been out. They've been out for
A week and a half.
You
No,
go watch them all. Go speed run through them.
Come back.
Like what, 6 hours maybe, and then come back and join us for this.
Yeah, come back at like 40 minutes and come listen to us talk about Loki because I feel like that's where we're at. All right, back into it. So Loki, season 1. Quick synopsis. After stealing the Tesseract during Avengers Endgame, an alternate version of Loki is brought to the mysterious Time Variance Authority, a bureaucratic organization that exists outside of time and space and monitors the timeline. They give Loki a choice: face being erased from existence due to be a time variant, or help fix the timeline and stop a greater threat.
Wow.
I
Wow.
should totally do a book review.
Do what you would call it?
Be an audiobook reader.
trailers. Yeah.
No, I couldn't do that. I would start laughing. Like that was
Chapter
short.
1.
That's too much reading for you.
Well, do it in bursts.
Yeah, no, you're fine. All right. So, yeah, Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be. I'm gonna go through the categories and we're gonna jump straight into it. So we're gonna be going through our favorite characters as well as our favorite sequence. We'll go through some unresolved questions. Anything you guys want to write down, you can put it there or just bring it up whenever we get to that. And then we'll talk briefly about the music. And by the end of it, we'll just rate it. All right.
Great.
So we're gonna start off with character. Eric, why don't you start?
Oh God, why am I first?
You didn't move the list, so you're starting first.
I hate you. Who made the list? You?
Maybe.
Oh, I hate you. You set me up for this. All right.
Maybe,
So, my favorite character is Kang. Just right off the rip, I'm going for it. Kang, who is I can't even say Kang, a variant of Kang, who is He Who Remains.
There's another name for him. What's
Immortus.
Immortus?
I want to say Immortus, but everyone was like
it looks like
guessing
him,
on what.
though.
Yeah, it does. But everyone's just like throwing stuff out there, like, oh, it's him. Oh, it's him. Oh, it's Kang the Conqueror. Oh, it's like. I'm just calling him.
I guess in the documentary they do just call him.
Yeah, they call him
the
different
he
things.
who remains.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's the He Who Remains variant of
Yeah.
Kang. I guess he isn't the main Kang the way he explained it himself. He said a
Yeah.
variant of myself. So
Mhm.
who knows? But I love the actor.
Mhm.
That's
What's his name,
crazy.
Dan?
Jonathan
Shut up.
What do you mean,
Majors.
Jonathan Majors. So
Would you ask me? I thought you were going to
because
say
you
it
know
already.
his name. So Jonathan
Yeah.
Majors. The
He wants
reason
to
why
make
I
sure
love
that everyone else knows his name.
Shut
Okay.
up, Patty. The reason why I love Jonathan Majors is because before this, I watched Lovecraft Country.
That's right.
Lovecraft Country got
Preach
canceled,
that. Preach it.
and I'm so sad because
Yeah.
I made Antonio watch it. Antonio loved it. It's a good show, but to see him go from that show to this, which is that show was emotional. It was pretty much like a drama. This, he had fun
Mhm.
in his whole episode, which was episode 6. It was his episode.
Yeah.
He showed a side that I didn't know. Like, he was fun, he was witty, he was smart. He went through all the emotions. He showed them what it was and what it could be. It was just really great. I love Jonathan Majors. And he was sporting the beard, which was really good. That show was nice. But no, yeah, it's my favorite character.
I love how like that opening sequence where you see who he is. It just looks like that. What you sent it earlier too, like the Vivio music video thumbnail, like the reveal of him with the door and thing. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I don't remember. Send it to me.
I'll let our special guests go if they want to go
Yeah.
while I'm looking for this.
Okay. My favorite character was, sometimes I'd be basic on some of these shows. Like, I like the main character, but Loki, I was always wondering how this series would go. Even though I was the most excited for this show of all the Disney Plus shows. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I knew this was gonna be an interesting show, and so the character development in Loki, our Loki, was pretty good. Better than I thought it would be. So yeah, Loki, and like,
Oh shit! My bad. Oh,
yeah, our Loki.
sorry.
It's all good.
Big ass check mark in. What the fuck?
No, that's what I was.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
the thing
No,
that's what I was trying to find. It looks so cool. I really.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He's about to drop the. He looks like he's in a Weekend video.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's so amazing.
Same energy.
All right, sorry, Taro. You can keep going.
All I was gonna say was, like, emotions that Tom Hiddleston put out as Loki, like, it was just better than I could have ever expected, honestly, and makes you feel for Loki for real, like, honestly, especially when he seen himself die, like, I don't know how that was gonna make him feel and react.
Right.
So
Right. That was one of like the very emotional sequences like at the beginning of the, like I said, it was at the first episode
Mhm.
where like it just him not even living that life, it's just seeing how his prime version of himself was living.
yeah,
Just kind of going through all the stuff that would have happened had he not grabbed the Tesseract and seeing all the pain, but also the good memories that he had shared with his brother and everything, that like in that elevator sequence in Ragnarok.
imagine seeing like a little video, like film of you and your whole life, then you just watch yourself die. Like,
It would be traumatic.
yeah, it's pretty traumatic, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, to say
Tragic.
the least, because yeah, he was. This was the version of Loki that had just escaped the Battle of New York in 2012, and so he went through the sequence of events from Thor: The Dark World to every Thor Ragnarok, and then seeing him die bravely. I might add, at the hands of Thanos, and that just would have. That I'm sure that did something to him because he hadn't gone through all that character development yet, right? And so he kind of went through this giant burst of character development, in a matter of minutes. That the original Loki, it took him years to get to. So
Yeah.
that must have been very overwhelming for him.
all I can say is it was a great character development. Tom Hiddleston was great as Loki. I couldn't see anyone else as Loki, so that's my input on it.
and I'm glad they like continued doing this like this kind of very different way. Because like how else would you have brought him back like a very like popular character? I think this was a very interesting, very unique way to bring him back.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. They could have really taken a cheesier, quicker route, and instead they made him someone that we actually care about instead of someone that's just entertaining just because he's charismatic. Like they really
Right.
did well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like he's a bigger part of the story now. Like even more than he was back then being just the villain. He's like in this
Yeah, a
greater
different
world and
version of
everything.
him and everything.
Well, yeah. He still did those things as a villain.
Yeah,
in,
but he evolved
Avengers 1.
different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Took a
right.
different path.
Yeah. Well, forced to take a different path.
Anything else you got to add or
So all I gotta say about Loki, like,
all right. Well, anything you got we can add, we can just come back to it later. All right, Patty.
All right. So my favorite character was Mobius because I just love Owen Wilson. And I'm really glad that like it feels like now in I don't know like what's happened with like these newer Marvel like titles, movies and shows, but it just feels like the level of acting that like the actors are putting out just seems higher, you know? Like it feels like they've just gotten it doesn't feel like they've gotten better, but it feels like they've been given more freedom to like
Yeah, well, I mean,
be
the 6 hours does
themselves.
help.
Right.
You know?
Like the
'Cause I think of
runtime.
like the what when I think of it is think of like Chris Evans as like Captain America versus him in a movie that we saw recently, like Knives Out, where it was like in one he's like it's like Cap is like most movies like kind of a bland character, but then in other movies you see that like his ability to act is a lot higher, and that's just what I felt like I got from Mobius was it was just Owen Wilson doing a phenomenal job because he was like allowed to, and it was just really nice to see because he is a great actor and he played Mobius phenomenally because he was funny when he needed to be. He like hit every mark, every line like perfectly. You know, he had the emotional bits where like his world is, you know, shattered around him, which I'll get into later. But it was like really nice to see a good actor be given a role and just like execute it flawlessly. And he was fucking
And he
hilarious.
bumps heads a lot. He bumps heads a lot with Loki. Like he's a good like
like
opposite,
a check
I guess
to
you could
him.
say. Yeah.
Because he knows everything that Loki's gonna do. Like he literally says, he's like, you've like literally stabbed however many people in the back. Like
I never do it again.
I never do it again. It's like, no, you will. I know you will.
Dude, I've been practicing that all day.
Oh God.
It's like I like the way he says it.
It's just great. Like the TVA just like they just know everyone like what everyone's bullshit is.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, we don't care. We know. We know exactly what you're gonna do. So please shut up.
Yeah.
I guess he really is the perfect character for you, Patty. Because you really like don't care about like other people's opinions. You're like, this is just
You're
my
just
answer.
wrong.
This is it. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's not Asgard. That's my lunch.
That was like, she was like, oh,
Poor
It's so
man never
funny.
finished his lunch.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, because he kept putting salt and pepper in.
And he dumped like a juice box on it too.
Yeah, and then at the end he just like takes his drink and then pours his drink into it. And it's just like, okay, now it's ruined. And then I was so depressed at the end when he's just like Loki shows up and Mobius just turns around and is like, who?
Are you?
Oh God,
Who
that
are
was
you?
so bad.
That was sad.
He said, "Let me help you. Calm down. You work in what's it called?"
You're an analyst?
Yeah,
Come on,
I
like,
was
yeah,
so
yeah.
depressed. I was like, how could they do it?
No.
What-
They do that to me. That was so sad.
Patty was like,
Yeah.
or anything else you want to add?
No.
All right. Justin, who are you repping?
Well, I cheated because I put 2 characters down for this.
It's fine. I didn't realize it until now.
Yeah, but so I'll talk a little less about each of them. But Loki Classic was definitely up there for me when when Loki went down to the void and he caught all these variants of himself. I think the ones that kind of stood out were this old version of himself with this classic 60s looking Marvel Comics uniform, and then Kid Loki, which to everyone speculating that, oh, the young Avengers are coming, that just kind of puts more fuel to the fire. So they were both very fun characters who stood out to me, particularly because, Kid Loki killed Thor in his universe. But Loki Classic, played by, I think Richard Grant is his name. I just thought he did a phenomenal job. He was probably, other than Billy D. Williams, was probably the highlight of the latest Star Wars film, The Rise of Skywalker, which I dislike more every time I watch it, unfortunately. And
it's I forget that he's in there most of the times, but like he's the one of the admirals, right?
He's one of the admirals. I don't even know his name. They just brought,
He's the guy who says, "Yeah, execute the traitor," or whatever. I think
like that.
He blows up,
and then he blows up, like, which, like, the coolest visual of the entire movie is seeing him get killed. Which I'm like, okay,
but cool. Like he definitely fits that admiral role.
He did,
and it's weird that it was just kind of wasted at the end. I think he really would have fit that bill perfectly, like at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
Force Awakens or something.
They should have put him in Force Awakens for sure. Like,
yeah,
it was hard to care about any of the new characters in that film. It was hard to care about that film. I'm not even gonna front. I'm an avid Star Wars fan, and every time I watch that film, I like it less. I swear to God. Anyway, back to Loki.
I'm gonna send you a video essay one of these days.
Please do. We're gonna have to take a deep dive into this because I'm too emotionally involved with Star Wars. But Loki Classic, definitely the boss. I really enjoyed his character, and then Eric, you kind of nailed this. Just this Kang Immortus, He Who Remains character. I recently read in the comics that Immortus and He Who Remains are actually 2 completely different characters. And so I think this version that we get in this series is kind of an amalgamation between the 2 characters, kind of like how they took pieces of Whiplash and Crimson Dynamo to create the villain for Iron Man 2.
That's gross.
Which was trash. I don't want to talk about that.
Gross, yeah. And then she called him Crimson Dynamo and Black Widow.
Widow.
That threw me off too. I was like, hilarious. What?
It really hurt his feelings. He was like, "That's not my name." I was like, "Dang,
my name's the Red Guardian."
Dan's been practicing to keep up with me.
That's crazy. All he cared about was like, "Yo, just get my name right." But
I fought Captain America.
He did not.
Right, go ahead. No,
I felt very
go
about
ahead.
that.
Go ahead.
so funny. Man, yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, nah, man, Eric just fucking nailed it, dude. Like, everything about Immortus was just, or Kang, or whatever you want to call him, was just great. Jonathan Majors has been one of my favorite characters, or one of my favorite actors since I think I saw him in The Five Bloods on Netflix, and I saw that before Lovecraft Country, and seeing Lovecraft Country and Watchmen on HBO all in the same year was just like riveting for me. Jonathan Majors is definitely like one of my top 5 favorite actors now. So when I heard he was cast as Kang in Ant-Man 3, I was like, yo, that's dope. And I had no idea he was going to show up in any form
of himself in Loki. I speculated like we all did, but when he showed up in episode 6, bro, he took it over. He was that episode. You know what I mean? And I just loved his attitude. I loved the way he explained things.
And he was creepy.
in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like
In a
his
power way, yeah.
yeah, in a power way. It was like kind of in episode 1 of Loki when Loki was stunned that the TVA is using the Infinity Stones as paperweights. Like
Yeah.
Kang is like that way. How he gets stabbed by Sylvie and he just winks at her and says, "I'll see you soon." That's freaking creepy, you know. And then and this is something that really got to me. And I'll end with this: is that scene that we were just talking about when Mobius looks at Loki and he doesn't recognize him. You know, Loki was trying to tell him about Kang, Immortus, whatever. And one thing that really got to me was like he was talking really fast. He was like freaking out, you know what I'm saying? Like sweating, like blah, 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 blah. And something a specific word he used to describe Kang really caught my attention. He said he was terrifying. Loki isn't scared of
Yeah.
anyone or anything. He even stepped to Thanos in Endgame, and if he hadn't had that Infinity Stone, he probably would have killed him at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because he was that close to just stabbing him in the chin with that dagger. And he was only a handful of characters in Endgame and in Infinity War that actually fought Thanos like one-on-one or stepped up to him in that manner, which is brave as balls, right? But so he's not scared of Thanos, but he steps to Kang and he runs back to Mobius and says he is terrified. That says something about him.
And it wasn't even the bad version of him neither, like the way he explained it. You know what I mean? He's like,
Right.
there's worse than me.
Yeah.
And then he goes back and he's like, he's terrified, but that's
Yeah,
not
and
even
he's
the
scared of
bad
himself.
one.
He's
yeah.
like, there's a worse version of me, but that version still made him like piss his pants.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, this is what Marvel needs right now, like a villain of this caliber. I'm kind of freaked out, like someone that scary is going to be the villain of Ant-Man 3. Because Ant-Man is like, you know what I'm saying?
man.
Like, it just doesn't, the tones don't match because Ant-Man's really funny and very this and that. And I'm like, how is he and Kang, how are their interactions going to be? I think that's going to be interesting. But just to conclude, classic Loki and Kang, Immortus, he who shall forever
A different
terrify
version,
Loki.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same version.
it's
It's
not gonna
all
be the
different
same-
through these movies. They've
Yeah.
been saying, yeah. So
So,
that's
man,
in itself.
I'm ready. I'm freaking ready, bro. Marvel's got me. So bring it on.
yeah.
All right. So I'll just go on to my character, and then we can move on to favorite sequences. So I chose Sylvie as the
Oh God.
variant of Loki. I think she's the only female, which what made her be brought into the TVA.
Really?
I think that's what it was.
You think so?
Well, it's not really specified, but I don't know. It's I said I think. But she's one of the variants. She's at the beginning she is considered the main villain, and she has this bigger plot to destroy the TVA and blah blah blah. And what like really like fascinated me about Sylvie was just like how I guess how more hurt she's been because she never really grew up in like the best scenarios, the best place. She kind of just been on the run since she was a kid, you know. And Loki Prime, or the one we follow for the most part, was like raised in like a palace and was, you know, brought up in these kinds of circumstances, blah, blah blah, and like she just was on the run. So like it was really interesting to see her, like she's even more angry and more like less trustworthy of people, and like that kind of is her downfall at like the end of the show. But like she kind of is developing that trust with Loki Prime, and like not knowing how to handle, I guess, that kind of friendship or relationship, I guess, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna say friendship actually. Yeah, but I just like in her fighting style. Like I also recently I watched the documentary on Disney Plus, and like it was so enlightening as well. Like because her fighting style is very different, more scrappy, whereas Loki's is more elegant and like flowy, and so it's so interesting.
The way they described it is really great.
Yeah.
She's complex. I hope she comes back in season
Hell
2
yeah.
because that's like that whole relationship right there just took a twist.
Yeah. And like also like her powers are a little bit different. Like they meshed her the female Loki and Enchantress,
Which they've done twice now.
for
Yeah.
Yeah, Hela and
and Enchantress. Like at this point,
Enchantress.
come on, she's gonna probably be Enchantress. Like they're gonna call her Sylvie Enchantress.
That's what I thought.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh, what the
Damn,
heck!
you
I didn't mean to
suck.
send that.
And what are you
I
doing?
didn't mean to click that. I'm sorry. I'm lacking. My bad.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah, that's all I was gonna. Just she's a really like very badass kind of character.
oh god.
Clearly, I mean, I know we didn't really mention him, but just
Croaky.
so everyone knows, the best Loki obviously is Gator Loki.
It's Croaky.
They call him an alligator.
No, he's an
I know,
alligator.
but
So
I'm
the
still calling
Croaky
him
would imply
Croaky.
he's a crocodile. But he's not a
Nope,
crocodile.
I'm
He's an
calling him
alligator. So
Croaky.
it's Gator Loki.
I'm not calling him Grokey. That sounds gross. It sounds
Not
like Grogu.
Groki, it's Gator Loki.
It does
It's
sound-
like Grogu.
I thought about this too. It should have been Alligator and then Krogi. Like if they were just in a universe where everyone's an alligator.
Alligator.
whatever.
You really put your heart in that one. I appreciate that.
Like a Thor. Yeah, he thinks about this
Just
stuff at night.
Christ.
He stays
Yeah.
up till like 4 a.m. thinking about
Like
this. This is how we come up with our T-shirt designs.
That's what
I mean, we also
dreams
got-
are. It's just, what would alligator Thor be named?
Mhm.
We did see Frog Thor though. That is
Yeah.
an interesting
Thorg.
sequence though.
Throg.
Um,
Sorry. Throg.
Throg?
What did I say?
Yeah.
Thorg? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thorg.
Oh,
Was it Korg now?
yeah.
All right. Anyways, I just really like her character. Just kind of made an opposite kind of to Loki, aside from Mobius and everybody, and like it was kind of a nice reflection of like how Loki can care about himself in that kind of way because it's a variant of himself.
I typed in Croaky.
It's I don't know. It's just interesting. She's really cool. And I like Eric said, I want to see her and come back.
They're not going to
in
waste that.
the future.
She was good.
I'd hope they don't. This is really good.
Mm.
All right. So next up, we're gonna be talking about our favorite sequences. So Eric, why don't you start us off?
All right, so I'm gonna stick with mine because Kang. I'm sticking to it. So my favorite was the last scene before everything gets fucked. It's when Sylvie takes the knife and stabs He Who Remains, and he says, "I'll see you soon," which pretty much implies, like, I was right. I'm not messing with you.
Right.
You're gonna see a version of me. You're gonna remember me, but I'm not gonna remember you. And it's gonna be much, much worse than this. And to me, like
Yeah.
the amount of emotion he
winked.
has in his face, yeah, like
He
without
winked.
like, okay, I wanted this. I've been waiting for this for God knows how long. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've
Thank
done
you,
my
or whatever.
job.
Yeah.
So, man, his outfit is crazy too. The purple.
Yeah.
I like all the purple.
Did you see the? Remember how they described that?
Yeah, he
in
grabbed
the
it from
documentary?
different time periods. All his outfit.
Yeah. So like the cape is from the certain time period. The boots or the shoes are from this time period. It's like it's
Mm,
gathered from all points
Yeah.
of the time, and it's so cool.
It
yeah.
said, from the Genghis Khan dynasty, from
Yeah, that's the shoes. I think it was.
Roman Empire or something. It's just
Yeah.
different. It just he makes it work. I'm not gonna lie. All right, but yeah, we can move on.
All right, Tyrell, what you got?
Well, I liked how Loki was just gonna leave the other Lokis, and all of a sudden you see another version of him, President Loki, just waiting for him up there, and all of a sudden, like, the one thing that got me going was when the President Loki would talk about having to throw in his army against yours, and all of a sudden he had his whole army just go up against him. Like, Gator Loki just took the show away by biting his hand off, but yeah,
His
like,
character.
yeah,
This
it's
is the
like
best character.
literally, I thought President Loki would be actually our Loki. Like that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That kind of deceived
exactly what I was gonna ask too.
me. That deceived me really bad. I was like, wow, this is not what I expect. But yep,
Yeah, it was a good scene. Seeing all the different Lokis. They're not the same person, but they're all the same.
Yeah. And we did see some of them, like in that the explanation of like who we're going after.
They had
as well.
one with like he had a bike. What is it, Dan?
Yeah, it was like bicycle as a helmet, and then like a bicycle shield or something, like on the wheel.
Yeah.
I think that's what
He
it
had
was.
the horns, but it was like the
the handle.
handles of the bicycle like bent up.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Well, interesting. We didn't. Obviously, it would have been more expensive, but like we didn't see like the like hulked out Loki from the
I don't think
examples that
would
we
have been
shown.
expensive at all.
Well, I don't know wherever the budget was gonna go to. Maybe they saved it.
I think it went on fucking King's Palace. Them whole
I
opening
think I
scene.
say alligator. I think I say
That
alligator
too.
Loki.
Yeah, all the different variations
Yeah, but-
of Loki, like that's what got me like throughout the whole
Yeah.
series, like because we've seen examples of them earlier in like the first like episode or two about the TVA and
Mhm.
everything, and all of a sudden you see like a whole army of Lokis just rallying it up with each other, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, yeah, that's mine.
And it's also interesting because they're the ones who, I don't think we see anybody else in the void, but like they're the ones who survive just because of their cunning and their like mischievous manner. They've been surviving this long.
Yeah. And they all run into each other, like, and they're not surprised
Yeah.
though. Like, it's really weird.
I think it's Patty who's next.
Oh yeah. Right. So
All
mine's really long
Oh,
because
God.
I went back and I like watched the entire thing throughout the episode. It's like 10 minutes long, but it's when Mobius discovers that his entire life is a lie, everything is meaningless, and he does not know the world as it really is. Which I thought was cool because you can like you really like you see because it's so long, you like see the progression of him like wondering like, okay, this sounds like really far-fetched when he talks to like when like Loki tells him, he's like, okay, that's bullshit, you're an idiot, get out of my face. And then he starts like questioning more and more after like the two, what are like the regular like foot soldiers called, the
B-15.
Minutemen.
No,
Minutemen.
Minuteman. B-15 is like
Yeah, those two.
She's a hunter.
Yeah. Oh, she was
Because
there.
there was the
Yeah.
first one, it was like C something.
B-15.
No,
Oh no,
yeah,
C-20.
There was
C-20.
two of them, and he was like questioning after her like what happened because like Sylvie exposed her to like the fact that she was like a real like a variant that was taken by the TVA. And he's like questioning into that, like trying to find out what happens, and then he steals whatever the fucking judge's name was, Ren, right?
Judge
Renslayer.
Renslayer.
I forget names. He steals her
It's
her
okay.
tempad, and then he like sees
Yeah.
that like, wait a minute, Loki was telling the truth. Renslayer's like covering it up, and then he goes back to Loki, like frees him, and it's just like,
Yeah, it was really funny. When she looked at the camera, it's like, no, you gotta stop talking. She like freeze framed on her.
yeah. But it's just really
On
nice
her-
to see like the entire process of him being told the truth, not believing it at all, then starting to question it little by little until he finds like definite proof that what he was told is true, and then like having to accept the fact that everything he thought he knew was a lie, and now he has to like change that and like get some kind of new truth, new purpose. And so he goes to Loki, frees him, then he gets killed and sent to the end of time, and it's just like a really like nice like sequence of events of like,
Yeah, and before he gets brewed, he's like, "Oh, I'm glad I found you. I accidentally took
think
your
I
temp
took
pad."
it, you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
You know,
No,
funny story. Now that
now
you
that you
mention,
mention it, that's crazy.
you can imagine if that
And
worked.
still,
Oh,
I'm
man.
still very upset. They never let him jet ski. I think that is a massive issue. He never got to ride a jet ski.
That's what he said. He said, "You think I had a jet ski?"
God. They didn't even
Season
They
2.
didn't
most
even let him
likely.
do it. That would have been so great if, like, in the at the end of time, instead of like pulling up in a car, he pulls up on a jet ski. That would have been so much better. But no, it's just a car.
Wow.
Oh, I can't believe they had this lying around.
Wow.
This
Wow.
one, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, well, he went the entire show without saying wow. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
okay.
they said that too. Somebody asked him.
Early
He was
on, they were like,
you haven't
yeah.
said wow yet. Why not?
That mustache though.
That mustache was
That's
hot.
real. Yeah,
I liked it.
That was
yeah,
good.
that's cool.
great works for
Yeah, they did a good job with that one.
him.
He's definitely gonna keep it. All right. Justin.
Yes. So my favorite sequence in that entire series, we kind of talked about this a little bit because there's another Kang Immortus line, is when he was talking to Loki and Sylvie, and he said, "If you think I'm evil, wait till you see my variants." And
Get a load of this guy.
I thought that was that gave me chills, because that was really the first clear cut, I guess, alluding to Kang himself, not a variant of Kang, but Kang himself, because he knows all of his variants, or most of them, as it would seem, and he was warning them. He's trying to warn them that, look, you can end things. I am tired. It would be a win for me either way. Either you do my job, which is what he offered them, or you kill me and I have a good rest, because I've lived a long time. I've done my work here. My job is done. But if you do that, if you do the latter, you're gonna mess up the timeline. You're gonna you're gonna face some folks that are quite unsavory. And I just liked how he said all that with a smile on his face. He was like, "Look, I'm just letting you guys know, if you do this because you're not trusting or believing what I'm saying, which Loki did and Sylvie did not, then you're gonna have to face the consequences of your actions. So be prepared." And so I just thought that was a very fantastic keyhole, or peephole, I guess, into phase 4 and possibly phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't think that Kang is going to be a one phase villain. I do think he will be a very significant part of phase 4, as well as the following phase 5, especially because of his relation to Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there, and I think his real name is Nathaniel Richards,
Yeah.
and I think he's a
Yeah.
descendant of Franklin Richards, who is Reed Richards' son. So there's that whole thing, right? And we already know the Fantastic Four is coming, right? So there's a lot happening there, and even without saying a whole lot, they alluded to a whole lot. And yeah, that scene just gave me chills.
It was great.
Yeah.
I love how you and Eric are both in sync about that.
He was good. It was his
Telling you,
episode.
man,
No, yeah, yeah.
that was the dude right there. Dude. I mean, they knew what they were doing. I wouldn't have thought to cast Jonathan Majors in that role.
I wouldn't either.
They knew what they were doing.
And he's gonna be playing him for what, the next 10 years? Maybe.
Most likely.
Old, he could do old Kang, young Kang. Like, come on, he's
Ooh,
the
yeah.
perfect age
So many
where you
variants.
can, you know what I mean? What they did with Watchmen, the movie, you can do
Right.
his face.
Crazy.
Hey, he's
How old is he? Like early 30s? Oh, yeah, 31.
Yeah,
he's,
yeah,
you're
he's
right.
31, 32, yeah.
Damn.
He's young enough to where you remember when all the early MC, they're all in their 40s now. Everyone who started in the MCU was in their 30s, early 30s.
Yeah. Tom Hiddleston said he was like,
He was 30, he was
is it
29. Now
29?
he's 40 when Loki
Yeah.
came out. Yeah, so he's at that
Shit.
age where the next 10 years. Yeah.
it'll be real interesting to
Kane.
see his future.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
I'm okay with it. I love it.
All right. Justin, are you all set? Or
Oh, yeah.
anything else you want to
That's
add?
all I got. Fantastic.
All right. So, all right. So, I decided to go with the Alioth fight sequence against Sylvie and Loki, and also classic Loki. I really like this sequence a lot for it's like many reasons, but like one of the main reasons is like just how it's like the guard dog to the final act, and like how they have to get through. Then how even Loki learns that he can evolve his powers into like very enchantress like powers. Just very interesting seeing that really pull through, as well as I think we mentioned it already. Classic Loki ends up sacrificing himself to get the attention of Goliath. And one thing I found really interesting, like a theory someone said, is like, what if that's what he did when he got trapped into the void? He made all this gigantic creation of Asgard to try to or not in the void, but I mean like when he was trapped, whatever planet he was trapped in, after he escaped Thanos. He was like, what if he made fake versions of Asgard and his brother, and it just didn't end up working, and he just kind of got lonely, and that's when he left, and then that's when the TVA came in. I'm like, that's really sad, but like just like that sacrifice is like very noble and very like just very like even the laugh is very Loki, classic Loki-esque. It just reminded me of like the one from Earth's Mightiest Heroes, just that look in particular too. And I also really like that Tom Hiddleston got like a little sword, and like even like added like the buckle things on his shirt. I forgot what those are called, but like to put his sword in his back. But I really like that because it just reminded me of like Nathan Drake and how he looked and he looks in his games and everything like that. And I'm like, it just reminded me of that, and also like when he was in Kong Skull Island and his like adventure routes. I'm like, this, this
he looks
is so
just
cool.
like that too.
Yeah. And I just really like that fight sequence just because like we just learn a little bit more about how their powers work and how like massively powerful Loki can be, with both Sylvie and classic Loki just showing off what they can do, and like really showing off how Loki can go about his life, I guess, and with these newfound powers. Yeah, overall I just thought it was really interesting just because like it's that like before the final boss sequence. Like they have to finish this. They have to, and I don't even know if they think it's gonna work. But Sylvie's really like convinced that she's got this, and she's got like the ability to try to tap into Goliath. And Loki's like, all right, I trust you, and they go for it. And I just really like that sequence. Yeah, I guess we can move on to any unanswered questions. Anything that I guess cliffhanger, anything we want to touch upon. The first thing I have here would be the end sequence, which is and Patty brought up a little bit earlier, but the part where Loki comes back to the TVA or gets kicked back into the TVA. And it's an entirely different version of it because it's updating as it's moved on since Immortus or He Who Remains died. So like, what are you guys' thoughts about that?
I have no clue what the fuck happened.
Yo,
Nothing makes sense anymore.
It's a different timeline.
It's not
it has to.
I don't think it's a different timeline because the creator or the director said like the TVA exists outside of time, so it has to be that the Kang or a version of Kang now has created the TVA, and that's why he's in the full front center. It's not just the three timekeepers. It's him. And it's like it was updating out of time, so that's why when he got kicked back in, it's all different. So, and the only reason he remembers is because he's in that. It was in that.
So it's a completely different TVA. Like when he died, someone else rebuilt the TVA like instantly.
Yeah. Like it just kind of happened like a flash. You turn back and it's like this a different version or a different person came and made it up.
Interesting.
That's what I thought it was.
I don't know. It was weird.
What do you?
Well, yeah, I mean, very cliffhanger. We're like, what the hell is going to happen?
It's probably like it's how like
what do you mean?
Like he who like Kang dies, he gets kicked back. Loki gets kicked back to the TVA, and like immediately it is like everything is different. Everyone's back to like normal. Nobody knows who he is. And now He Who Remains is in the front instead of the timekeepers. Yeah. It's just like, Jesus. So much shit just happened at once.
But the way she said it, Dan, it is a different TVA because the way time and branches are crossing each other outside the window, Loki has unfortunately been sent back somewhere very different. So reality has just shifted by the nature of what He Who Remains said.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
what it
idea
was.
is that he's in an alternate TVA. It's a different TVA. It's not
a
the
different
same
TVA.
TVA.
Okay.
Right.
That's the way
Oh,
she's
okay.
saying it.
I might have just I just read the
I
beginning.
think you
part
read the
outside
top
of
half because that's
Timespace.
exactly what it says in the top half.
All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's interesting where they're gonna go with that. Like in the next season, like
That's it.
is it just like the beginning? Yeah, I know what I'm saying. It's like the beginning couple episodes. Loki trying to convince Mobius
It depends when it
of
comes
like
out.
where he's come from. Yeah, I guess so.
Realistically.
And yeah, any guys' thoughts? I do have one more thing to add, but like anybody else want to add something else?
Yeah, I do.
I'm excited we're getting a season 2. That's all.
Facts.
I just want
So,
Mobius
like,
to get his jet
the
ski.
first that too. The
That's
first
what I
thing that
want.
happened after this is we got Deadpool in the MCU, and I just want to point that out. That literally put Deadpool in the MCU with Core.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, that was.
I'm just saying.
That was
Oh,
so
you're probably
stupid.
right. No.
That's a Marvel suit though. That's a different suit. That's not Fox suit. That's all I want to point out.
I can't tell, but you'll explain it to me later.
What?
What like the suit?
What do you mean? What
Those
about the
videos
suit?
are really funny. I like them.
It looks like the regular.
No,
Fox
no,
suit.
that's a Marvel suit. He said Marvel made that when he like posted it
built
somewhere.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I thought you meant the design was completely
No.
different.
I don't. Well, I don't know. But he said, "Nah, I have another suit to steal." Because remember, he kept the first one from Deadpool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a total. I can't tell the difference, but it looks a little bit more redder.
Red? Yeah,
like
maybe
a
just the
deep
color
red,
grading.
maybe.
I'm not sure. Did you guys hear anything about like how both the finale of WandaVision and the finale of Loki line up together?
I think they debunked that.
If they did, but even if they did, it's still really interesting to like talk
Yeah, I
they
remember
link
reading
up.
about that,
Yeah.
and then immediately after that, I read about how that was just not the case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could skip
I mean, no,
that.
we
I
could
thought it was
talk about
It
interesting.
was an interesting idea that I liked. That unfortunately, it seemed to be not
Too
the
good
case.
to be true. Too
Oh
good to be
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to bring it up? I don't have it in front of me.
It's a fan theory, is what it started out. That the time that Wanda at the end of WandaVision when she's in the cabin.
No, what I remember it was when she became Scarlet Witch, like transformed into that suit and all that shit. I forget what, but when she did that, I forget what. But they said something
Agatha.
at the end of Loki lined up with that.
Oh, it was when the camera was kind of like going into He Who Remains his face and pulling back, and it's like,
Oh,
so that happened or
Oh, yeah,
something
he,
like
They
that.
reacted
Oh.
to something that like wasn't in the room. I think that's
Yeah.
what it was.
I mean, it's just it's interesting. Like even if it was a fan theory, it's just really interesting. Just like I guess how Eric said, it's too good to be true, but it's interesting if it was, because like they would have either way. They still kind of connect to the next part, the next phase, with Doctor Strange and everything, and even Spider-Man at this point.
I didn't know it was
Yeah.
going to do that. That was a surprise, I think, on all of our parts. The fact that this opened the multiverse.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was something I read or if it was something official that was like, Kevin Feige was like, oh yeah, this not that's not important, but this will deal with something completely different.
Yeah, it was very
but no,
different.
this
from the
is-
shows.
This is like I think I said this in your guys' podcast when I went to record over there, but this is a must watch going forward. Just kind of like, even if like you don't like completely understand what's going on, it's still a very important thing to watch going forward with the multiverse.
Yeah, this is a
This is an important
start.
part. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that WandaVision also.
I don't want to
Does the same
say
thing.
that because like the only reason I would say is WandaVision is because of Wanda and
Yeah, the ending
and
bit.
Vision, because we don't know when he's gonna pop up
Oh.
ever realistically, and Wanda because she's up there for strongest in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like she's I mean, I feel like they're all watchable though,
Their
because
Nexus beings. Well, yeah, I'm just saying like this is one of the most watched.
well, I think this one was way better than both of the other ones though.
Honestly, I agree.
Amen.
Like I loved WandaVision. I loved Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love what they did with them two characters that have been
Established.
way longer than not around the
Well, I
same
mean, shorter
time,
than Loki's appearance.
yeah, but they reached more on everybody's part, emotional and then character. Like they weren't pointless. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 1984 and I'm gonna say it, Patty. Black Widow and all that. You know what I mean? They were actually went more forward with the story, and we got like 5 more projects left. Fuck.
All right, so we're gonna go into very quickly into music. This will just be like there's no real list of like who's going. It's just like whatever you guys want to talk about. It's usually me and Tones who just like kind of like let's let's talk about music. But I will start off just real quick saying like I really like the music. Really love the aesthetic of like very like the time, the like a clock sounds. I think it is involved into that, but it involves a lot more like I guess you could say synth wave kind of aesthetic. Is very like electronic, but also fits Loki's character a lot. Just very devious and mysterious. But yeah, it's a great soundtrack.
I would agree with that. I thought that.
I recommend anyone go listen to that. I'll bring up the composer's name.
I like
as well.
the opening credits bit that played. I really like that. That was always nice.
Because I think I like for the most part,
that was really well done.
I didn't skip this one too. I mean, also like the end credits is very like ominous and like like it's really like, whoa, you gotta like sit back for a second, just listen to that. So the composer's name is Natalie Holt.
She did a good job.
Did a great, wonderful job.
She has a future.
Yeah, she does, definitely. I will say that I thought the music was excellent, particularly when after Alioth was defeated at the end of episode 5, they open up the portal to, I guess in the comics it'd be Chronopolis, but whatever they call He Who Remains Home, and then it goes immediately into the credits. There was a completely different end theme song in episode 5, different from episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. That was just very emotional and thrilling and really riveting, almost as if by accomplishing something they had almost like unleashed something horrible, which is exactly what happened in episode 6. And there was just like this music that just personified that at the end of episode 5 that I love. And that just really stuck out to me. So as far as I'm concerned, man, just that song was excellent. The music was great, but that song in particular really stuck out to me.
Well said. I didn't even think about that. That's good. All right, so now I guess we can move on to the rating. We're gonna stick to the same list that we had. So I'm gonna start off with Eric.
Why?
Because
I hate you.
That's how we always do.
You should have started upside down. You always do. All right. I'm gonna give it a 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
All
King
right.
the Conqueror. He gave it a 10. It was a 9 up until that episode.
Oh. All right, Tyrell.
Well, Eric took my rating. It was a 10 out of 10 for me. So
10 out of 10. All right.
No.
I guess assuming the same reason, Kang.
yes, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, Patty.
Give it a 9.5 for no jet ski.
You and these weird ass numbers,
If he pulled up in a jet ski, it would have been a 10 out of 10.
But you
It's
gave but you gave Kong versus Godzilla a 10 out of 10
because it was a 10 out of 10 movie. It was perfection. It was a true cinematic experience. Okay, I don't know what to tell you.
No, this is why
Dear
you
God.
gave it a 10 out of 10. Right here. That's why. That's you right there.
Exactly.
That's the only reason why you gave it a 10 out
Big
of 10.
Monster, yes. I went for a movie with Big Monster and I got Big Monster.
I hate you so much.
All right. Justin.
We spoke about this too on the Geeking Out Loud podcast, and I
Right.
don't want y'all to hate me, man, but I got to give this show like an 8.5.
Oh, that's fine.
That's fine.
And it's not
It's
because
not
anything
terrible.
was bad
We're
about
not
it.
gonna-
It was just because out of, you know what I'm saying? Like out of the Disney Plus TV shows, like this was the one I actually enjoyed the least. And probably just because I resonated a lot with WandaVision because it talks about, I mean, the whole show is basically Wanda's, Wanda going through the 5 stages of grief,
Mm.
that's WandaVision. And then Falcon Winter Soldier with all the stuff about the past and the future and Steve Rogers and having a black Captain America and all the stuff Winter Soldier's going through and therapy and Elijah and all this stuff, bro. And Isaiah, oh my gosh, that stuff brought me to tears. And then there was Loki. And so as a show on its own, it's one of the best that Marvel has. But just compared to Winter Soldier and WandaVision, it's excellent, but it just doesn't slap as hard as those two shows. So I'd honestly give it an 8.5.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm not gonna judge you. I think we even talked about that. I forgot what I rated it on Geeking Out Loud, but I think. Well, here's the thing. I rewatched the show for like the 3rd time, and I think I'm whatever I gave it on Geeking Out Loud, it may have to change. I think I might have said like a 9 something.
You're giving it a 10.
But I think I will say a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
honestly. I super enjoyed this. I love the 70s aesthetic. I love the music. And I don't know. It's overall, I really, really liked it. It's sorry. Okay, so our average is 9.6.
Oh, you're close.
It's very high. Very high.
That is
very good.
That aside, I think that comes down to the end of the show, the episode. So thank you guys for watching or listening to this episode of Nerds Be Like Podcast, wherever that may have been. If you want to switch that up, we're available wherever podcasts are available, including YouTube. So as Patty said up top, give this video a like, thumbs up, subscribe, ding the bell, do everything you want over there, comment. Also join our Discord to continue the conversation here with us. Let's see, we're also available on Nerds Be Like Pod at on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, where we post whenever we upload. As well as we have our email at nerdsbelikepod@gmail.com, where you can send us any comments, questions, concerns. Leave a review as well. We'll keep this brief. We have merch. You'll see that in the big link. We have all these types of things you can check out, from shirts, hoodies, skateboards, things like that. All right, and we also have links you can check out to support things such as African American communities and the Asian American communities. They'll be in a link below. Check it out. And before we go into the preview of the next episode, you guys want to plug your podcasts?
Yeah, you can find us anywhere on any of the wherever you find your podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of that. We have our own website you can look us up on, geekingoutloudpodcast.com.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we gotta thank our editor Heather for that. But yeah, you can find us anywhere pretty much. We're about to be on YouTube, so
awesome.
Moving up in the world. Yeah, you can find me and Tyrell on Geeking Out Loud, and you can also find me at Super Tangent, which is my own podcast, and that's just about it's on every platform you guys are on, and you can also look up all the episodes at supertangentpod.com. So definitely check those 2 things out, Geeking Out Loud and Super Tangent Podcast. Hopefully we'll see y'all down the road. But yeah.
Awesome. So thank you guys for stopping by. We're
having us.
Honestly, this is a great experience. I really enjoyed this. Both ways too, because Tones and I were on your episode on Geeking Out Loud. Go check that out whenever that's out as well.
That's right.
It gets to hear Tones' view on Loki. So thank you guys for joining us. And Eric, what are we doing for next episode? Or you're not going to be here?
What are we doing for next episode? Let's see. I've had this all planned out. So I don't know if I'm going to change this title or not, because Patty also has a problem with this title. But next week's going to be and calm. Yeah, you do. A nice and calm episode. We're going to do streaming services that we love or we do not love.
Probably did though.
Basically, it's going to be like Netflix, HBO Max. We're going to be shit talking basically. as Antonio would put it. Like, or not,
Everything in
see,
the
it
dumpster.
works. It works. But yeah, it should be fun, light episode. I'm excited for
Sucks.
it. It's an original idea. I hate you already.
But yeah, come back for that, and we'll catch you guys some other time. All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.